Welcome to Money in the Air, the music podcast about neighboring rights, the royalties you earn from the public performance of your recordings and the business of music in general. Brought to you by IFR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders. I'm Andrew, co-founder and chief royalty officer of Royalty.
Hi, I'm Gina Deacon. I work for Absolute Rights Management and I work with record labels and artists to ensure we claim the royalty income due to them.
I'm Stacey Haber and I'm from Inside Baseball Music Publishing.
Hi, I'm Tanya Oliveira. I work for Transparent Entertainment Group. I handle registrations and repertoires for performers and rights holders around the world.
Hey, welcome back to Money in the Air, the Neighboring Rights podcast brought to you by IFR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders. I want to give you a scenario where I don't have the answer, and I genuinely want to know if there is one. It's a musician who had a song and recording synced in a feature film, indie, small budget. Feature films released, cinemas for 1 week, and then straight to streaming. I tried to plead with the producer to release the soundtrack album for the film on Spotify, just on Spotify, if that was easier, through a regular DSP, if that was, I just wanted a playlist. Sounded like too much hard work for the producer, the film producer. What we tried to do was offer that if he did release the soundtrack, that we would let him register that version on PPL as the rights holder, so we could have half the income from PPL. Because we figured it's a great soundtrack, people will listen to that rather than going and looking for each individual artist. It would increase and we'd keep at least half. Well, that didn't work either. So now the regular recording is out there with its original ISRC number. How does PPL know that it's in this indie film if nobody is going to issue them the cue sheet from the film?
Great question. So in theory, PPL will not know about this track in this film because there's no received cue sheets. They haven't been made aware, especially by the fact that the rights holder hasn't created a rights holder account, requested an ISRC stem, and divulged their label name, because sometimes they get wind of that, if that makes sense. If they're going to be a production company, you can put all your different label names and sub-label names. There won't be a registration in the pipeline at PPL, so they don't know this exists.
Have you tried contacting PPL to get their advice on this scenario where the actual production company isn't doing their part in order for the musicians to get paid? That's out of standard practice, because I would think and I would hope that there is some type of consideration given to artists so they're not penalized for the negligence of a production company not wanting to do the work. I know it can be tedious, and a lot of these production companies do have somebody that actually submits these cue sheets if they're a larger production, but in cases where you have an indie film, they don't have a lot of staff, there has to be some type of benefit that gets passed down to the artist in these cases. I would hope so.
Thank you. I haven't, but I will. That's great advice. And do you think I can do that with both PPL and with Sound Exchange?
With Sound Exchange, they would naturally be excluded because of the fact that it is an audiovisual production and a recording in a film. Until we recognize that right here in the US, we won't have any audiovisual performance rights on the recording.
Are there any countries that do recognize AV that I should submit to directly?
Yeah, definitely. GVL in Germany, AIE in Spain, they're the top payers in Europe. They pay on AV.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much. That's my only question for the week.
That's a great topic. I also want to know what PPL say, because I know on the PRS side of things, they do have an outreach team where they can get hold of indie production companies and guide them through, this is a cue sheet template, this is what we need from you. So I imagine PPL has a similar thing, but we'll find out.
Cool. I will report back. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, go to www.iafar.co.uk and become a member. Bye.